from Epic Tri-County, bringing you our epic interviews. And want to first give a shout out to anybody who's having a birthday today. Happy birthday. Blessings and birthday wishes to you. Um, my fellow Aries. I'm an Aries also, so I get you. I feel you. Also, sending prayers of love and light out to everyone that's either home or working in a different way. Maybe people who have loved ones that are a little under the weather. We are sending you prayers and affirmative energies lifting you up. So I'm really excited today. In a few minutes, we're going to bring on our guest, Denise Atkinson. Denise is a medium, a psychic, a mystic. She's a beautiful lady that I met in the oddest of ways, and we felt that connection immediately. We'll go into that after. Um, so we're going to bring Denise in a minute. I just want to remind everybody that we're broadcasting on behalf of broadcasting. Yeah, live casting. I don't know what it is, but on behalf of Epic, empowering people, inspiring community, I'm here to be a resource for you to help you on your journey through this earthly walk in the areas of health, spirituality, and sustainability. So, my name is Samantha from Epic. I am so grateful that you're here with me today, and I am so grateful to bring on now Denise Atkinson. So just give me a second. I'm going to bring Denise in. And hi.
Hello, blessings.
Hi. How are you?
I'm very well, thank you. How are you?
Good. Good.
Good, thanks for
Denise and I
having
did
me.
have a chance to connect earlier just to make sure we didn't have any snafus. And so we've been talking quite a bit this morning. And I'm so grateful you're here on behalf of our community to help bring them some tools and some information to maybe help them through this current situation, but also throughout their entire experience. So, you're a medium, a mystic, and an intuitive. Can you tell me a little bit more about a little bit more about yourself?
I have been reading since 1984, so that's a long time. But I connected with spirit for the first time when I was 9 years old. I knew, early on as a young girl that I was never alone. I always felt a higher presence around me. And I've sort of walked through life always with that higher presence, no matter what is going on in the world or in my life. I have the sense of peace in my heart. And that peace came, back when in 2013. But yeah, I'm a medium, which I bring through people who have crossed over. I'm a psychic, which means I'm clairvoyant. They're two separate things. A lot of people put psychic medium together,
Mhm.
but they are separate. And I'm a mystic, which I live my daily life being close to God. And every day I work on being closer to God with through prayer. Every day I light
Love
a
it.
candle, and that's how I live. That's my ritual. So
I can see your glow. I can see the essence of who you are, and I appreciate you bringing that, your authentic self to our community today, and and to me. And I want to say that I met Denise um, one day. I was out delivering Epic, and I forget why, but I stopped at the AutoZone store, auto parts store in Torrington, and Denise happened to be sitting in the car next to me, and I got out and I came back. I must have had him in my hand, or I opened my trunk. I don't know what I did. But you asked me, you say, "Hey, what's that you got?" And I'm like, "Oh, this is our Conscious Living magazine." So she gets out of her car, she comes over, hey, I'm a medium. I'm like, "Oh my gosh!" And then it just kind of started to develop, like to evolve. Um,
right.
which I wonder what was it that led me to that place that day to meet you. I'd like to think
Well,
that
I
it
don't
was
believe that there
intuition.
are any coincidences.
Yeah, right. So, can you explain a little bit about the difference between mediumship and, psychic? The ability to be psychic? a little bit.
You're kind of breaking up a little bit, but I think you're asking me if explain my psychic ability and my mediumship.
The difference between the two?
Oh, the difference between, yeah, sure. What it is so when I sit down to do a reading, I say a prayer, of course, because that's what I do, and I go right into the reading. So the idea is to bring someone through that has passed or crossed over, and all the rest of the stuff is the psychic part of it. Maybe what you do for a living, the month that person passed. The mediumship part of it is bringing that person through, male or female. It's evidential mediumship. Bringing that person through, male or female, about what age they passed, what they did for a living, maybe even bridging maybe something that happened that wasn't cleared up why that person was alive, bringing that situation up. So it's a bridge to healing. And the medium part of it is bringing the person through. That's the mediumship part of it. The psychic part of it is all the rest of the stuff, the clairvoyance, the seeing. Because I can see in my third eye, which is here between the brow, and I could see what that person did for a living, how that person passed. That's the psychic part of it.
Wow. I imagine
it's my
that.
soul and their soul connecting for a brief moment, and all of the information gets downloaded. And that's what happens in a reading.
I've had the experience.
Are we connected?
Yep. We
Yeah,
can
okay.
still hear you. Your screen is a little frozen. Can you hear me?
And I don't have you. It's not working.
Okay. Let's see. I'm going. Can you hear me now?
Can you hear me?
Yep. I can. I can hear you. We've been experiencing a lot of technical difficulties with the live interviews. I've contacted the host of the live, and they've explained that it's just something that's happening because of the
A little
overflow.
bit. You're breaking up. It's coming in and out. So
Okay.
and your screen is kind of there. You go.
Am I here? I was just explaining that the providers
it's on your end.
Have said I'm gonna cancel out my screen real quick.
Okay.
Okay. Does that help?
I think so. I can hear you.
Okay. As long as you can hear me and we can see you, that's cool. Okay. I was explaining to everybody that we're having some technical difficulties on behalf of Be Live, which is the platform I'm using because of the overload.
Right.
Before that glitch started, I've had the blessing to receive a mediumship reading from various mediums. And what I can say is that there is no doubt that there's a connection with the other side. That
Absolutely.
the evidential mediumship is one of what I consider one of the highest in regards to mediumship, because if you can give us evidence, we know in our soul and in our heart that this is a true connection. So thank you for doing that work and providing the closure for people that may receive the closure, providing the affirmation that yes, it is real and it is doable. That brings me to another question. If you believe or if you feel that mediumship is a muscle that everybody has, and if they build it, they could use it.
I believe that mediums are born. That's what I believe. And I think that everyone is intuitive. I think you can build that muscle. Can you build, mediumship? Sure. I mean, you could work on it.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
I think you can. I guess we can look at Picasso. He was a fabulous painter, right? But not everyone can paint like him. So I think we're all different in our own way when we do readings.
Mm-hmm.
But I believe mediums are born. That's what I believe. But you can always work on mediumship, and you can work on being more intuitive, and you do that by meditation, you do that by prayer, you do that by sitting in nature. There are things you can do to strengthen that muscle.
Okay.
And asking.
That's what I was looking for, was like a tip. You had mentioned prayer, you had mentioned meditation. These are tools that we can all use to strengthen our intuitive muscle or our mediumship muscle, our psychic muscle, whatever it is. But it takes work.
It takes
Um,
work.
it takes work.
It takes daily work. It's a daily thing. I mean, even if you sit for 5 minutes, or you could be washing the dishes. You know how you're doing something where it doesn't take a lot of a thought. You can wash dishes and go off into your own little space in your mind and your heart, sort of drift off and start to connect that way. Mediumship is something that you have to be connected in order to work it. You have to be connected somewhere. If it's to nature, that's fine. If it's to God, that's great. But it's the mediumship is the ability basically to understand something without any cognitive thought process. Okay, so if you work on meditation, clearing thoughts, then you know what you're receiving is real. If you're thinking, that's not mediumship, that's not psychic ability. If you have to sit and think, so it's learning to have empty space, learning to have no thoughts.
Right. And to be comfortable in that space, to be comfortable
Right.
in that silence, and to be comfortable with the vibrations. Are you still able to hear me okay, or am I
Yes,
picking up?
yes, I can hear you.
All right.
It's
Good,
a
good.
little staticky, but I can hear you.
Can you tell us a little bit? I know you mentioned the age of 9, and then I heard you say the year 2013. Can you give us a little history on Denise Atkinson? How this all happened for you?
Uh, you're talking about the out of body experience?
Whatever you want to share with us. Whatever you want to share.
Yeah, it's a little breaking up, but so back in 2013, after having cancer, I really started to meditate. Before that, I did a lot of tarot and just the all-knowing part of it. In 2013, I had cancer. I started to meditate, and I had an out-of-body experience where I saw 3 light beings, which I believe was the God, Father, Son, and the Holy Ghost. And it basically just cleansed me. It was like a rebirth. And I knew that I was on the right path. So it changed my life. It was better than hitting lotto, I could say. Really. And everything that ever happened to me, bad or anything that I was holding on to, was literally washed away. A sense of peace and overwhelming unconditional love came over me, and I just feel like I'm on the right path. This is my course, and God has put me in this direction, and this is what I'm supposed to be doing.
That sounds beautiful. I had a similar experience when I was just starting on my path of recovery, and I was sitting in a spiritual center, ready to just listen to the sermon, what have you. And I also had, mine was almost physical, where I felt my chest and heart chakra open up,
Mm-hmm.
and I felt and I saw this beautiful stream of light just come into my heart, and I felt a cleansing. I felt an unconditional love, and I felt a peace. And that was on August 5th. I'll never forget it. August 5th, about 10 years ago. And that is what also affirmed my path. I was brand new at the time. I knew nothing about psychic abilities. I knew nothing about mediumship. I had no religious background. I had nothing. From that day, that peace told, that you mentioned, um, I think I can relate to that. And what that does to me is it makes me hopeful that um, anybody on this journey in this world can feel that unconditional love if they simply begin to open and allow. That's my hope for everybody. So when you practice mediumship, when you do readings, do we have to be in the same room together, or can you do mediumship via Zoom or Skype, or what's the
It
process?
it sure can. I mean, energy is energy. You're connecting with someone's energy, and you can do that basically even before you get on Skype. When someone calls to make an appointment, I just take their first name. I'm not interested in their last name. I don't really want them giving me any information. And before I connect with them, either in the office or on Skype or telephone, I sit and just, I'm quiet and I just connect with my heart chakra to their energy. I prefer in person readings. I think the energy works better, but Skype and telephone readings do work. Um, but I do prefer in person. And
Okay.
I'm not looking at someone, or for body language or, yeses or nos. I'm usually not even looking at the person when I'm reading. I'm off in space somewhere. Um, and I let the person know that before they sit down with me, because they're like, well, you're not even looking at me. Well, that's because I'm not interested in body language, and I'm not interested in, cues. I need to take myself to another dimension, a higher state of consciousness, in order to really be accurate. I mean, it's about being authentic. And
Excellent.
when you give people, death dates, birthdays, things that are going on in their life, things that, were done to them by a person that was passed, and then, it's real. It's definitely real. I can give you a few examples. I read a woman in January, and I told her that she would be working from home. Now, she said, there's no way I could be working from home. I have to work, where I work. I have to show up every day. And I said, no, you're definitely going to be working from home. I said, I know you're a teacher, but you will be working from home. And now she just sent me an email yesterday, and she says, I can't believe it. You were right. I'm working from home. All the schools are closed, and they're Skyping or Zooming or whatever they do. And that's the way they're keeping the schools, the kids going. So, it,
Wow.
it, this, she didn't understand it at the time. And honestly, to tell you the truth, I didn't either. I didn't know that this was going to be the reason. But I can see things in my third eye, clairvoyant. I can see her working at home. I could see her working on the computer, and I let her know that. So,
Right.
you,
And
you know,
and and you didn't filter the information um, through the, through the, well, you didn't, you couldn't see why or anything. You just gave her what she needed, what you received, and what is it? 3 months later, 4 months later, it connected.
mhm.
And I know that when I work through the angelic realm, doing connecting with the angelic beings, and I tell my clients the same thing. What I'm saying to you right now may not make sense, but tuck it away because it will at some point in your future. So the process sounds similar.
It does sound similar. I mean,
Yeah.
I read a woman one time. She was happily married, and I didn't know anything about her. She came first time I ever met her, and I told her a bunch of stuff. Told her that she would be divorced and it would be difficult, and but things will pass. Um, and she came in to see me. I told her other things. I don't really want to get too much into it, but she came in to see me, and she said, it was as if the carpet was ripped out from under me, and I had remembered what you had told me, and I knew that what I was going through was going to be okay because of what you told me. So that was good to hear. I mean, I don't like delivering bad information or sad things to come, but I have to give the person sitting in front of me the information. That's why they're there. So they have to know they're going to get the good, the bad, um, the ugly, and the wonderful, all
Right.
in one reading. I did a reading for a gentleman. This was probably about a year ago. He came in and he looked like a construction worker, but he wasn't. I said, you're a police officer, do something with a uniform. And he said, yes. And I could see that his father had passed, brought through his father. And there was some sexual abuse there with his brother. And I told him that he wasn't talking with his mom because I see his father in the bed dying. And I see him walking into the room to say goodbye. And I see his whole family leaving. And he said to me, Denise, that's exactly what happened. And I said, your father wants you to know that he is aware of that sexual abuse. And this grown man was validated for the first time, and he just, the healing took place there through all those tears. You understand? And the mother knew about it but wouldn't acknowledge it, thought he was a liar. So me bringing that information to him, and letting him know that his dad knew what happened and knew the truth, he hugged me so tight. I mean, I didn't know if he was going to let go. And for him, that was a healing moment. I mean, it broke. I think I cried when he left.
Yeah.
For a few minutes. It was heartbreaking, but healing.
Right.
And that's what my job is, to help people heal.
Thank you. That's beautiful. And I honor you for that. And so if we wanted to contact you for a mediumship or psychic reading during this time when there's the social distancing, it is something that we could do online. And how would people reach you?
Well, people can call me. My phone number is 860-930-9515. People can call me, and all they have to do is leave their first name. Or they can email me, is Denise Atkinson 17@yahoo.com.
Excellent.
I have a Facebook page, obviously, Denise Atkinson, Soul Centered Mediumship. They can contact me there. A lot of people don't like to contact me there because they think that I can see information.
Yeah, right.
But I don't do that. I don't waste my time doing that.
Right.
It's about being authentic and being real and coming from a place of love. And love is the most important thing.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. We will post your links in the feed. Like I said, we're getting used to writing this new course called live broadcast or whatever it is. So we will put the feeds to your Facebook page and information, your email on the feed for our viewers to use. Before we begin to wrap up, it's already been 25 minutes. We could talk forever. I think
Go
a
by
lot
quickly.
common. Um, what is one bit of advice that you could give to someone if they're shopping for a medium or a psychic? Are there some signs that might say, hey, this person isn't working from a completely authentic place? What do you look for?
You were kind of breaking up. So you want to know what you want me to give advice on helping people connect, or
No,
I
but
didn't hear you.
I hope you can hear me. I'm going to speak slower. If
Okay.
a person was going to shop for a medium, they're looking for reading.
Mm-hmm.
Because I know in this field that there are some people who are not working from the highest vibration of love and light.
Mm-hmm.
What would it be it would trigger a questioning of maybe this person, this medium, this psychic, isn't working from the highest vibration.
Um, well, the first of all, if you call someone and you want a reading, you give your first name, never give your last name.
Okay.
Don't offer any information. If they ask you questions, and they let you talk, and because people want to talk, they want to tell you their story. But you have to stop them. I had one person call and start talking. I want to connect with, and wait, don't tell me who you want to connect with. I want to give that information to you. I want to be the person to do that. So you should never, ever, ever give anyone the information. So if they don't stop you and they just let you talk, that probably isn't the right person for you.
Yeah, might be a sign.
And I want to express that I'm not knocking anyone.
No.
I hope my hope is that everyone is trying their very best to be authentic. Trying to. I don't want them to try. I want them to be. But just come from the heart. And I think if you do that, then you're in a good place. But just
Right.
be careful about giving too much information.
I agree with that, and I too want to hold them in the highest of love and light. I have had an experience where a lady would continue reading me if I paid more money, and I said that was a trigger for me. That was a trigger. I was like, okay, this doesn't sound authentic. It
Yeah.
sounds, and it was a psychic reading. It was not mediumship. It was psychic. So that's another thing I want to let people know is if they feed you, if they bring you to the edge and they say, well, for $50 more, we can continue. It might be a sign, people, that
Yes.
not all authentic.
Yes. No, you never pay more. My readings are for 45 minutes to an hour. I never cut off a reading. That's why I say 45 minutes to an hour. I never ever ask for more money. It's a set price. It's the past, present, and future. It's all together. I don't do, psychic readings, mediumship readings, soul readings, retrieval. I don't do. It's just a reading.
I love it.
And whatever you're supposed to hear is going to come through. And another thing too, now that you bring that up, is if anyone ever says you have a curse on you, or they'll take it off and it will cost this much money, absolutely do not pay. That is not being honest.
Yeah. Thank you.
Not being honest. I mean,
right.
You may have some bad luck happening, or things may not be going right, but I truly don't believe that you have a curse on you and that someone for some extra money is going to remove it. That's just hocus pocus. I mean, so
that's it.
It makes us who are authentic, who come from a place of the heart, and who are real. They make us look bad.
Yeah, absolutely.
So
I want to thank you again. And we had you mentioned that you work out of the bridge.
The Bridge Healing Arts.
Yeah,
I didn't hear you.
The bridge is a beautiful facility. So
it is.
Just wanted to let people know they can find you there once this situation with the COVID subsides. They can connect with you at the bridge for a reading.
They absolutely can.
We can put your feed, your information in the feed. And I want to, on a personal level, congratulate you on your beautiful grandbaby, Amelia. And I could see the joy you light up when I just said her name. Your whole face lit up.
Oh yes, I love her dearly. She's beautiful.
And enjoy that, baby. Being a grandmother is one of the greatest roles that I play in my life, and I love it, love it, love it.
It really
So
is.
everybody, we're at a half hour mark already. It's hard to believe. We're going to say goodbye to Denise and goodbye to everybody. We'll see you tomorrow. Denise, thank you.
Bye.
And
Thank you for having me.
thank you so,
Blessings.
so much. And
Blessings and
as I
stay
close,
safe.
I close all of it. Peace out, Epic Scouts. I don't think you can see me, but I love you, and I'll talk to you tomorrow. Bye-bye.
Bye bye.